friends, I am here to talk to you today about the awesome power of the big G. And what is the big G? Well, the big G obviously is God. I don't think that there's another big G out there that deserves that title, but this looks very different for some of us. It could be your higher self, it could be the universe, it could be whatever you want to call it. It could be a he, it could be a she. So I am going to be using the word God, and for me, God represents this awesome power that's out there that is full of love, so ready to take care of me the moment that I allow Him into my life. And why am I talking about this? Well, the reason I'm talking about this is because I've realized for so many of us, we try to do life on our own. We think that it's our life and we are in control. That's the popular word, control. And we have the power to fix the things in our life that need fixing, and we really have a difficulty giving our things over to God and really surrendering all of our lives to God. For many of us growing up, maybe even in traditional religions, God is something you visit on the weekend. So if you go to church on Saturday or on Sunday, or if you happen to stop by church on Wednesday, that's when you'll meet up with God, or you pray to meet up with God, which is awesome. Prayer is wonderful. But a connection with God has become, or is for some of us, something that is out there. So it's this enormous power, but it's out there, looking over us, making sure we don't mess up, because or else maybe it'll, send thunder down to strike us. This kind of mentality that God sometimes is out to get us and find us when we're doing a mistake. So my concept of God is one full of love. And what does love do? Love is always there to pick you up. Love is always there to take care of you. Love is non-judgmental. It's not judging you. Love does not have to forgive you because it has never condemned you. Love has the power to transform anything, to heal anything. And this is the same as God. So God is love, love is God. And this is the power of God that I'm talking about. So many of us walk around trying to fix our own things. We try to fix our relationships. We try to fix our health. We try to fix our job situation. Whatever it is, and we compartmentalize God to the weekend. So what I'm encouraging you to do is take hold of God in your everyday life. There's no reason why God should not be involved in every single aspect of your life. God should be in your relationships, in the food you eat, in your sex life, in the clothes you wear, in the movies you watch. God should be everywhere. Every little thing about your life should be surrendered to God. And if you think He's too busy, well, you're wrong. He is not too busy. This is what He's there for. That's why He's God. That's why He has all this power. And God is everywhere. Contrary to thinking that God is only out there, God is everywhere. So it means He's out there as much as He is in us. And a lovely way of putting it that the Course in Miracles teaches and Mary Williamson repeats often in her lectures is that it's a power that is in us but not of us. Okay, so we have access to it through ourselves, but it's not of us. It's a companion. It's something that we have, something that can help us. We're not doing any of this here on earth alone. And it helps us to remember this because the problems sometimes that we face on the level of earth, on the level of this planet, can seem very overwhelming to us. We're just mere mortals. Some things just seem like, how am I going to move that mountain? How am I going to make this marriage work when that person has cheated on me? How am I going to forgive my boss after he fired me? How am I going to forgive my father for all the abuse that I experienced at his hands? How am I going to, love that friend of mine after they betrayed me? All these different things that we have. How am I going to pay my mortgage? I don't have a job. All these different problems that arise for us in many different ways are difficult. And we're not saying that they're not difficult. They are difficult. And why we think that we can go through these problems on our own is part of our insanity. It's part of something that happened at some point to us that we separated from the mind of God, and we decided to choose to believe in our own human powers. We thought, okay, I can do this on my own. Let me have a plan. Let me do it this way. Let me figure it out. And look around in your life. Look at all the things that you've planned for, that you've tried to figure it out. See if they're working effortlessly. If they're not working, there's something else out there that can work better. Okay, and we've all felt this before where we've been like, this cannot be it. There was a point in my life where I was so angry at organized religion and doctrine and dogma that I didn't want anything to do with it, and I tried to convince myself that, there's no such thing as God. That was the only way I could separate myself from the religion and the doctrines that I felt had like tortured me with guilt for so long. And when I decided to do that, the hopelessness and the despair that came over me was immense. It was even worse than the guilt. I just felt like, what's the point? What is the point of all of this? There's nothing else out there. There's no point to what I'm doing. And some of us feel like that to a certain extent, maybe not to the extent that I'm describing in my own life, but just in the little things, we feel like, is this it? And we try to fill our lives with different things that can make us happy, to fill a void that we have because, we can't fix this, or we can't do that, or that's just not working, or everything is just so hard to get accomplished in this world. And the reason why it seems so hard is not really because it's hard, is because you fully have not surrendered your life to God. Things will still be difficult, but when you allow the power of God to really come through in your life, you will find strength in places you didn't know existed. You will find love in places you didn't know you had. You will find courage. You will find patience. You will find awesomeness and miracles in places in your life that you didn't even know needed those things, because you have surrendered it to an all-seeing power, a power that sees all. It doesn't just see the right now, it'll see the future. So when you make decisions for your life, you think, oh, I know what's best right now. Okay, but he sees it all. So I say, why not give it to the power that sees it all? Why not surrender fully to that power so that you can really wake up in the morning and feel like, yes, I'm awake. It's time to live my life today. Most of us wake up in the morning and it's like, oh, another day. I'm so tired already. You haven't even done anything yet, but you're tired. And you're tired makes sense to me because you're burdened. You're burdened with all the problems and all the stresses and all the anxieties and all the frustrations and all the responsibilities and everything in life that you think that you have to do on your own. And we're just human. So the work that we are really responsible for is really to dig deep down inside of us and find that part of us that connects to the divine, to really get to know ourselves in that light, in that connection with God, in our relationship with God, so that we can find the strength. And we know at this point that we're not doing these things on our own. Yeah, if we had to do all these things that we have to do in life on our own, man, I'd be tired too. I don't think I'd be trying to get up in the morning. I'd be like, I can't do it all. I'm just human. And so many of us think we're supposed to be Superman and we're supposed to do it all. I mean, I don't even think Superman did it all. I mean, he had people who helped him out. So why we think that, I don't know. I think it's part of human nature. So I shouldn't say I don't know. I do know. It's part of our insanity. It's part of this mind of ours that at one point split this way. It was going this way and it was connected to God, and it decided, oh, you know what? I'm scared and I think that I can do this on my own. So whenever we feel that fear of, what's going on with this relationship, what's going on with this job, what's going on with my health, whatever it is, instead of trying to decide, okay, well, I'm going to go more this way and try to figure it out on my own, we should be going this way, which is really an inward voyage, an inward journey into our relationship with God. That is where most of us connect. It looks very different for most of us, and like I said, we can call it many different things. That's the word that I am choosing to call it at this moment, because that is a word that connects with me right now and resonates with me right now. I think that is an awesome power that's out there, and I've seen it for myself, that the more I decide to choose to believe in fear, in my doubt, in my littleness, the more I become stressed, the more I have anxiousness, the more things just don't seem to work out. They don't happen. Nothing happens except more of the same. So except more of the stress, more of the anxiety, more of the fear. When I choose to place my faith in the hands of God, when I say, okay, God, I'm done. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. I realize that I am just teeny tiny compared to how I can be when I'm connected to you, which is enormous, ginormous. I'm limitless. I have no boundaries whatsoever when I'm connected to your awesome power. Take my life and do with it as you please. Do with it as you see fit, whatever aspect of my life it is. And whichever aspect of your life is that you feel like you're trying to figure out on your own, that's the part that needs God the most. That's usually how it works. So that's the part where you have the least faith in God. When you think, God doesn't really have anything to do with my sex life, okay, you're wrong. You need to hand it over all to God. There's so many songs out there that talk about it, surrender it all. There's this lovely song I love that says, to you, my blessed Savior, I surrender all. So it's not about, okay, let me just give you this part of me. No, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you give him all of it when you give all of it and all of it works out wonderfully? So stop limiting what you give to God. So I encourage you this day to really connect with the big G, which is what I'm calling it. Okay, connect with God, use prayer, use meditation. Use prayer to just pour your heart out to him and tell him everything that you need, you want, what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Just let him be your canvas, your blank page, your journal for all of those feelings that you're having. Let it all go. Get it off your chest. And then give him a meditation. So just sit there, close your eyes, relax, give him silence, so that he will be able to give you the answers and the insight and the wisdom to all those things you put him out there. Your prayer is totally awesome, but we need to incorporate more silence and space for God to be able to speak to us. Because it's when we silence ourselves and we give him and we create nothingness, that something will be born out of that nothingness. And that is the silence. That's the space that we're able to give him. So connect, please. There's a part of my website that has guided meditations and prayers if you need any kind of help with this. Some of us might not be as comfortable with these tools as others. So go ahead. You can borrow some of the ones I put out there. And then I really encourage you to go ahead and build and create your own connection. Create your own words, your own thoughts that can connect you to this awesome power of the divine. Thank you and have a wonderful day.